right, yeah. So we're finishing off. This is Sheila's Patreon request. Yeah, Roger's album, which Sheila said in the comments that Roger said Freddie takes up. But to be fair, I was thinking that Roger, he says Freddie takes over and rocks up the second half. But there's actually, because especially with the lyrics as well, Freddie got them kind of switched on lyrics too. I've completely forgot about that one that we did in that came up in that little documentary clip. Um, so I can't even remember what it is now. But the one about what what I can't even remember it. See, but yeah, the one about the well, that's what I mean. Freddie's got that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I think we are gonna rock up, and I'm well looking forward to Dear Mr. Murdoch. He actually came up in a thing. I forgot all about that. He was the one who had to step down for tapping people's phones, weren't illegally tapping people's phones or hacking people's um yeah, and it was it come up in a murder thing I was watching. It was some murdered little girl's mum or something like that that they hacked into the phone calls off. I mean, I don't know how much lower you get than that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dear Mr. Murdoch one. But yeah, we're starting with You Had to Be There. Let's go.
The sweetest moments that I ever had, the most magic memories that I recall, when the man came out and complained in the hall, when I met you. When I met you, you had to be there. Darkest hour that I ever lived, and the longest fall that I ever felt, and the sun went in, and the night was hell when you left me. When you left me, you had to be there. The sweetest thoughts that I entertain are of happy days that might come again. I don't know your face, I don't know your name, till we meet again. Hope we meet again. You have to be there.
I like that how the You Had to Be There, because it did kind of come out of nowhere as well, but in different kind of this was almost like a Christmas carol, in it, the is that what it's called? But you have the past, the present, the future, almost. But yeah, I like the line as well. when you like that bit where you left me, you had to be there. Like it's like, which is kind like that's a kind of deep thought that when you lose someone close, what that moment you lose them, like you have you had to be there. Like you want them there as your comfort and as your everything that they always are, or like all that they are to you in that moment that you actually lose them. Yeah. And also the line before as well about magic. I'm only saying this because of the doing that documentary clip as well. But he said the memories are magic, or like the memories I have are magic, or something like that. I was thinking, is that a comment on the? I may be way reading into this. Like I say, just because we did that documentary clip of the last tour, but was he talking about because the last tour was the magic tour, wasn't it? And you saw in that they said that every gig was like a highlight, and they did stadiums. Is that kind of a double? Maybe, like I say, I'm reading too much into it. You're right, Nala, in my guilt. But yeah, um, also, I forgot about the guitar playing as well. I have to say, musically, this album is fire. Like the music to this, the words is what's great, but the music's fire too. And the guitar playing, as soon as like instantly, I'm kind of glad that this was the first one because it reminded me straight away that there's fire. I forgot about how fire the guitar player is in this as well. But yeah, that was a banger, and that was a very solely like commenting on that kind of mourning and loss. Really, that's what it felt like to me, anyway. Like it was a song totally for Freddie. But I love that. What the when you left me, you had to be there. That's so good because obviously you want the person there after they've passed away, but I mean you actually want them there, kind of to help carry that load. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was fire. But yeah, on to the next one. The next one is the key. Yeah, so we've got the key. Yeah, let's go.
There once was a king of Paris. There was an emperor of Brazil. There was maybe a Loch Ness monster. There once was a Buffalo Bill. Now you can search the whole wide planet, scratching in the mud and worms. But an honest politician is just a contradiction in terms. And if I had the keys to the kingdom, I'd hand them straight to you. In another time, another place, another life, another waste. Sometimes the last thing you wanna know is the truth. contradiction in terms. And if I had the keys to the kingdom, I'd hand them straight to you. In another time, another place, another life, another waste, another love, another life, another small way to die. Sometimes the last thing you wanna know is the truth.
Yeah, that was fire. That might be my favorite so far because the transition, there's such a seamless transition from that like intro part into the actual song. But another great words, and this is another great example of a yeah. I've said it before on the channel. I remember when the Black Lives Matter thing was happening, and there was this um maybe some people watch the reaction channel. It's a reaction channel, but the girl of it made a song for Black Lives Matter, and it was a bad song. Like, and someone wrote a comment saying a shit song with a good message is still a shit song. Like, if you're going to put messages into music, you have to remember the first thing is music. It still has to be a song. You can't just say things and think like just because you put that in a song that the song's gonna be great. It doesn't work like that. But the play on the if you don't accept women, how can you love your fellow man? Like there's a lot of them which is very Dylan-esque. Like there's a lot of them lines that are like, yeah, it's kind of a double in it. It's like yeah, there was another one as well. But I didn't know whether he's gonna come up to it, but the honest politician is a contradictory term. And a sensible religion, was it sensible? Yeah, it's a contradictory term. But there's a joke, an old joke, which is two words that should never go together: police intelligence. So yeah, another contradictory term, police intelligence. But yeah, yeah, this was fire. This was fire. Um, like I say, musically fire again, but it is the lyrics. The lyrics are just, and like I say, it's not just a case of that he's saying conscious things, because to be honest, anybody could do that. Anybody can just, do you know what I mean? Shout off at the mouth. But if you're going to go into the realm of music, you still got to make it musical, and also lyrical, like words is as well. To write kind of conscious words is it's hard to do because you have to. it's hard to do and not kind of sound corny and not sound too obvious with it. But like I say, that's a real bit of lyricism. If you don't accept women, how could how could you love your fellow man, or whatever that was? Um, like that's lyrics. That's a line. Do you know what I mean? That's a great line. Like, and it's also a great line whether you want to accept women or not. You whether you want to accept women or not, you have to accept that that's a great line. That's a great line. And that's where just because you're writing something conscious, it doesn't mean like you still got to make it actually musical and poetic and yeah. But yeah, that line it was great. If you don't accept women, how could you love your fellow man? Yeah, great line. But there was a couple in there where I can't remember what the other one was, but there was one that was I can't remember. But yeah, lyrically again, Roger is, to be honest, is something that I've never really, because I like Roger, because Roger always kind of is the more rock and roller in Queen. His songs are like what's the one? I'm in love with my car. That's a Roger one, isn't it? That's one of my favorite Queen songs. Um, but yeah, to hear this kind of side of Roger is like, okay, Rog. But yeah, on to the next one. Yeah, so we're on Everybody Hurts Sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, let's go.
Well, everybody hurts sometimes, you know it. And everybody loves sometimes. Don't be afraid to show it. If you don't get a little hurt sometimes, if you don't dig a little dirt sometimes, you ain't living at all. Love and affection is the sweetest thing. When love turns sour, it ain't a sin. It's a bitter pill, but I tell you, turns to bittersweet within. And it's on any street. Everybody hurts sometimes. Happiness is a young man's dream, but it don't come easy. You know what I mean? Gotta chase it down the street, right to the last scene. Run down that illusion and try to live your dream. 'Cause everybody hurts sometimes. You know it. And everybody loves sometimes. Don't be afraid to show it. And if you don't get a little hurt sometimes, if you don't dig a little dirt sometimes, you ain't living at all. 'Cause everybody hurts sometimes. You know it. And everybody loves sometimes. Don't be afraid to show it. If you don't get a little hurt sometimes, if you don't dig a little dirt sometimes, you ain't living at all.
Yeah, that was a yeah. I loved it if you don't dig a little dirt sometimes. it's just kind of there's an element of truth to that. But also there was a line that he said in there. Also, again, musically great. This album, in terms of music, has just been back to back, just great, 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 great. Great guitar playing on this as well. Also, his voice sounded very raspy on this. There's like a real Rod Stewart vibe, Rod Stewart rasp levels. But also there was a line where he said, "Go ahead and live your dreams." He definitely set that up to sound like John Lennon. He actually sounded like, and it sounded even how whatever effects they put on, like just one line, it was as if John Lennon just spoke out of nowhere. And then the song carried on and Roger was singing. But I was thinking he definitely must have set that because they all love the Beatles and especially Lennon. And you can hear that especially in Roger as well. But definitely, I mean, it was a very to be fair, the whole album kind of is. It's a very Lennon-esque vibe to this whole album. But yeah, definitely, I think there was a little nod from Roger to Lennon. On just one line in particular. Yeah. But yeah, like I say, so many great lines in this again. But you gotta dig a little dirt sometimes as you're not living at all. Yeah. Yeah. And everybody hurt. I mean, what he was saying is so true. It's well, I was gonna say something, but I don't know, it might be a bit too depressing. But I'll just say it brief. When Mike Tyson lost his little girl, and he's like, I just wanted to take a machine gun and hurt as many, just open up fire and hurt as many people as I possibly could. He's like, until I actually went to the hospital, and you go into a hospital ward where everybody's kid is either dead or dying. And he's like, you look around and you go, well, who the fuck am I? Well, why is my right to hurt everyone around me just because of it? When he's like, you think, oh, this is just happening to me, until you go in there and there's a room for the people that are all in the same position as you. And you go, well, like, yeah, who the fuck am I? But yeah, everybody hurts sometimes. And actually, because when I first read that, obviously I thought of the REM song, because that is just so big now. But I wonder if he got that idea from this. But anyway, yeah, on to the next one. Oh, I don't know why I'm starting again. But yeah, loneliness. Let's go.
Is the greatest curse. Loneliness is hell on earth. They say it's all in the mind. Well, I'm sure that's true. But knowing isn't a cure. It don't help me or you. You don't know what it's like till you're truly alone. No, you don't know what it's like until you're alone. But then it's all in the mind. Loneliness. Loneliness can be so unkind. You'll never find it. They say it's all in the mind. you so. They must be putting us on. Now you don't know what it's like until you're really alone. 'Cause you don't know what it's like till you're truly alone. No, you don't know what it's like. Wait till you're really alone. Then it's all in the night. Loneliness, 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 loneliness.
Yeah, I can honestly say that's something I've never really. Not that I'm not on. I'm on my own a lot of the time, but I don't ever really feel lonely. I think that's more the thing that you got to deal with more than anything else. I don't know whether it's that people feel lonely on their own or whether they just don't like the thoughts that come when they're on their own. But yeah, I have to say I'm probably kind of the opposite. That but then like you said, you don't know you're alone until you're truly alone. Um, yeah, I guess I've never had to be in that position. But then also, like I say, I'm on my own a lot. But it just don't bother me. I actually prefer it. I prefer it. Yeah. So yeah, I have to say that's something I've never really it's never been a thing for me, loneliness. Yeah. I know people that it is though, that people that just can't be by themselves. They need to be around other people and need to be but some people just that's how they people recharge with other people around them. I'm the opposite. Like I can be around people for so long, but then I need my own space. I need to go and do you know what I mean, do what I want and not have to worry about other people and yeah. Other than Nala, of course. I suppose she's always with me, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have to say that that's not something a great song though, but it's not something I've ever really um experienced. Like I say, even though I'm on my own probably 90% of the time, I'd say. But I like it like that. Like I don't feel lonely. But yeah, yeah, great tune though. And Roger's voice as well is, I swear it's gravelling up as the song goes on. But yeah, another banger and another great lyrical tune. Like I could, yeah, like there's lines that he said. Also, the line in this reminded me of what did he say about truth? Yeah, the line in the last song about truth. I forgot to talk about that one where he says you don't you don't really want to know the truth or something like that. Yeah, that's a great line because most people don't. People say they do. People say they want honesty, but actually, honesty is the last thing they want. Like they want you to say what they're thinking, basically. Like, yeah, yeah, and it reminds me of the Peter Green line. Don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to. Yeah, but yeah, on to the next, and the next one is um Mr. Murdoch, I do believe. Dear Mr. Murdoch, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So we got this one. This one I can only imagine is gonna be venomous. Dear Mr. Murdoch. Like I say, it's funny how I don't know when that scandal come out about Murdoch's companies tapping phones, but Roger seems to be on this album quite ahead of the time on a lot of things. He's mentioned Ukraine, which is relevant now. He's mentioned, well, politics is just huge now, much bigger than when he wrote this album. Everyone's political nowadays. Everybody knows what's right. But yeah, dear Mr. Murdoch, let's go.
Dear Mr. Murdoch, what have you done with your news of the screws and your Soraway son? You sharpen our hatred, you've blunted our minds. We're drowning in nipples and bingo and sex crimes. How many times must they poke and they pry? Must they twist and lie? Just to add to the crime, they even screwed up the times. Learned to kick their ass goodbye. Oh, wouldn't I? Dear Mr. Murdoch, you play hard to see, but with your bare ass cheek, you should be on page 3. Dear Mr. Murdoch, really the pits. Bad news is good business. You're the king of the tits. They're staying on their touch. They're real woman haters. Up they're on their trail. They go straight for the lowest common denominators. How could they fail? Go straight to jail. Dear Mr. Murdoch, you're a powerful man. You control half our media, whose values don't scan. Dear Mr. Murdoch, not so amused. Just line up the people whose lives they've abused. Dear Mr. Murdoch, what do you know? With your minions like vultures, carrion crow. They've sunk just as low as humans can sink. For profit, they tell us how mass murderers think. And dear Mr. Murdoch, you come down from on high. You bought out the airwaves. You control the sky. Dear Mr. Murdoch, you're a dangerous chap. With your jingoist lingo, we're drowning in crap. Dear Mr. Murdoch, where are you coming from? Getting so hard to tell if you're Yankos or Bum. Dear Mr. Murdoch, you're really the pits. Bad news is good business. You're the king of the tits. Dear Mr. Murdoch, you do it with zing. At lowering standards, you're really the king. Dear Mr. Murdoch, what have you done? You're not quite as nice as a telephone. Murdoch, 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 Murdoch.
See, another great lyric, like the woman, man, double. The bad news is good business. That's a great little Um, yeah, another great little spin. But also, you're king of the tits. Now that's another double because yeah, the Sun has page three. Now there was a lot mentioned about page three, really. But yeah, you're the king of the tits, which is obviously like that's a double of because you have tits in your newspaper, which I think really for the longest amount of time that is why anybody ever. I'm surprised they do it on a Sunday as well. I'm surprised they're actually allowed to get away with that. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much this song is exactly why I don't have news on my phone because it just is like every thing in the news is what is the most hateful, negative way we can put this. Um, yeah, no matter what it is. And the other thing is where you're telling your disgusting actions of. So don't tell me. Just tell me the actions. I'll tell you if you're just news. You're just reporting. Don't give me your opinion of to what it is. Don't lead my um lead me into a certain way of thinking. But yeah, literally summed up why I don't have news. Um, but without a doubt, they are the most evil above politicians and governments. Is the media. The media's got XL bullies banned in our country. 100% it was the media. Because every time an XL bully attacked someone, they'd get the dirty, ugliest, vicious looking XL bully on the front page. Another XL bully attack. Now, when it was a Labrador that attacked someone, they'd say dog attack. No mention of the breed. But if it was an XL bully, not even the XL bully that attacked it, it would just be the worst. You put an XL, ugliest XL bully or meanest XL bully, they must have just gone online, done that, and put that on their front page. And got a dog banned from our country. Yeah. And that's just like a very small thing, but it's another you are responsible for that. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny that he said go straight to jail, no bail. I don't think he actually went to jail for tapping the phones, but he definitely fell further than you could fall. I mean, he had to. He probably still owns things. A bit like Daniel Kinahan with the boxing company. He's from a drug cartel that owns a boxing company, but he stepped away from the company, but still has people that are connected to him running it. Basically, he's running it, but through other people. I'm sure Rupert Murdoch's done that with media. But that's the other thing as well when people say, "Oh well," um, like an argument that all the media is one entity. They're like, "Well, how can it possibly be? There's thousands of journalists. Uh, yeah, there's thousands of different journalists that I think in our country it's two people that run every single media outlet. There's two people that are the heads of every single one of them things. So when people say, but there's thousands of journalists, how could the media be controlled? Because it's not thousands of journalists. There's literally two people. You go back, you take the Sun, like he said as well. What did he say? You destroyed the Times. See, he must have bought the Times. That's what I'm saying. The Times, the Sun, the Daily Express, the Daily Mail. If you go up and 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 up, you'll find out that there's literally it's like a couple of people that own everything. So how can the media be controlled? Well, it's quite easy. You've only got to then, as an outside entity, control them two, or them to control the whole of media. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is like a song from what was it, '91? I think this album come out. I think. But this is a song from then that like perfectly explains why I don't have news on my phone. People say to me, "Oh, did you hear about this happen?" No. Did you hear about this happen? No. Because I don't want my day ruined from like it's basically there's nothing you can do about most things. That's what I used to really care about the things in the world, and then I stopped caring. And you know, the same amount of difference happened in the world to when I really cared to when I didn't. Exactly the same difference in the world. But yeah, ultimately, the only thing you really need to know about is if another country's slinging nukes at you or they're trying to invade you. Which, and to be honest, what you're gonna do if they are, you're better off not knowing. Just delete all the media off your phone. Don't worry about the media. Um, just watch Queen reactions. You'll have a much happier life. But yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that, and I thought that was. To be fair, like I say, I think Roger's been so ahead of his time on this album. A very, like, not just a socially conscious album. It's a kind of almost like a Nostradamus conscious because you can like you don't have to be mystical to predict things that's going to happen when you understand what's happening at the moment. You can see logically what's going to play out. And it seems like Roger not only has a good grasp of the times then, but what was about to happen. Because some of the lines that he shot at Rupert Murdoch in this, is that his name? Rupert Murdoch? Um, yeah, a lot of the shots kind of played out. All right, he didn't go to jail, but that's because I don't think he went to jail. He may have done, though, because that was bad. Tapping a child victim, murder victim's mother's phone. Like he said, your minions and vultures have gone as low as anybody can go. This was before that even happened, and Roger was onto him. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that is as low as you can go. You're tapping a mother's phone so you can get some juicy gossip to put in your magazine and or put in your newspaper and sell it. It's like scum. He done it to celebrities too, and that's wrong too. You shouldn't be tapping anyone's phone, but victims' mothers is just disgraceful as a human being. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this was a great song, and like I say, very what's the word? Prophetic. Prophetic, is that the right word? Prophetic, as to what was about to happen. And to be fair, I think most people have that view. There's some people that still believe what the news says, but I think most people nowadays, I think most people get their information from like YouTubers and shit, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, yeah, on to the last one. The last one, Old Friends. Did we do this like a couple of years ago? I think when we first started getting into Queen, because we did some of Queen's, some of Freddie's. What was that band called? It's got a crazy name. I think we may have did this around that time when we was going like branching off into like solo stuff. What was Freddie's like Mr. Fantastic? I can't remember what his band was called. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna annoy me. But anyway, I'm sure we did this, but I can't remember the song to be honest. But yeah, let's go.
When the sun got big and the night came down, we used to share a drink and let the demons out. We let the good times rock, you made the bad times roll. We used to laugh a lot, you had a lot of soul. old friends in better times. A friend of mine. And when the going got hard, and when times were tough, we put our backs to the wall. You used to strut your stuff with a head held high and a heart so big. A one fist at the sky, the shake a leg. All friends in better times. Even though we miss you now, look forward, don't look back. We'll get by somehow. A friend of mine. I so raise my glass in a last goodbye. Sleep in peace, old friend. For me, you'll never die. The best thing I can say after all this time, you were a real friend of mine. All friends in better times.
Yeah, great ending. Great ending. Great song. That like because you could just he basically broke down Freddie Mercury. The dance moves, the strutting, the like yeah. He literally you could see him just painting the picture of Freddie Mercury basically. But a great ending to a great album, to be honest. And I was thinking then at the end, it shows you how much talent was in that band because it took me to this point to realise that Roger's playing drums. I don't know why that's relevant, but because it's like you could have had each of them, even John Deacon as well. You could have had each of them write every song on an album. Do you know what I mean? Like this was a great album from start to finish. I thought it was great musically. I thought lyrically, this is some of Roger's greatest stuff because it's very well at least it feels very open and honest and saying what he feels about things like it feels very open and um but then like I say very kind of predictive in things that happen in the world, and a lot of the things he's mentioned in this are like kind of still relevant. But then saying that, that's what good music is really. Like say Bob Dylan's Times They Are Changing, you listen to Times They Are and Changing, it's just as relevant now as it was then. Club mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticise what you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Yeah, that's just as true today as it ever has been and ever will be. So yeah, I think he's lyrically was just on fire on this album. But the whole album was great. Musically was great. Like I say, it wasn't just a case of, oh, he's saying good things and that's why it's good. It's like, nah, actually, if you replaced all of these lyrics with love lyrics, like say, or just kind of meaningless, not meaningless, but like not as conscious lyrics, each song would have been just as good. But it's just the added layer of, yeah, that he's actually talking some shit in this album. Like he's, yeah, it feels like almost. I mean, it's in no way hip hop, but it has the spirit of hip hop. Or to be fair, folk. Like I think hip hop, like people say hip hop is like blues and rock and roll, but actually more is like folk, because folk was like the first one where people, you have Woody Guthrie writing about the Dust Bowl, and all the hardships people was going through in America at that time. And it's a very like actually comment on social situations and social ills and whatever. Um, but yeah, I think hip hop is the was the next one to come along where it had that same thing. Because not so much rock and roll and blues. Rock and roll and blues is a lot of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. To be honest, in them lyrics. But yeah, I'd say this has the spirit of a kind of hip hop album. Maybe not the musical side of it, but the spirit of it, without a doubt. Like in terms of, like, say, you feel like you're listening to someone actually like open themselves up and just put on paper this what I think, this is how like, yeah. But also doing it well, like I say. The one that stuck out. What was the next one I said? The one I'm gonna take with me is the if you don't accept women, how could you love your fellow man? That's a great. But there was another one in there that well, there's so many on this album. To be fair, so many of them great lines. Um, but yeah, dear Mr. Murdoch definitely lived up to what I was hoping to. Um, because as well, even though there's a lot of aggression in this album, there's also a kind of like I said before, a sadness, but then there's also kind of a niceness. Even in that Dear Mr. Murdoch, there was some vicious line. You're the king of the tits was funny. You're the king of the tits is, yeah, such another great double. But um, it still had a kind of very nice, although kind of brutal. It, for example, it wasn't like Death on Two Legs. Death on Two Legs is you're like, Jesus, this is vicious. Like it's meant to be, and it's delivered that way, and it's whereas even the name, Dear Mr. Murdoch, there's a kind of like willingness to care still, like a kind of, yeah, yeah. But there was some vicious lines in it. But the King of the Tits is hilarious. Because like I say, obviously you're saying, yeah, you call yourself the king of media or whatever, but you're the king of the tits. Like the tits, like idiots, like stop acting like a tit. You're the king of them. People that act like tits, you're, yeah, king of the tits. But he also revolutionised newspapers by putting tits in them on a Sunday on page 3. But yeah, 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 great album from start to finish, to be honest. Great album, and like I said before, I love albums like this. This is probably the nearest, like I said, to John Lennon's Plastic Yoko Ono album in terms of. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna top that into that Lennon album because it's just so. It's kind of hard to listen to in a way, whereas this it's as open, but it's not quite as like with Lennon's album. You kind of by the time you've finished the album, you feel a bit worried, even though he's dead. But you feel a bit worried for Lennon. You think, Jesus, he's going through. With this one, like I say, there's a kind of kindness that goes through the whole album, and as well as aggression, and yeah, there's a lot going on this album. But like I say, above everything else is the lyrics for me. I thought the lyrics on this whole album was just genius. Genius. But yeah, that's the reaction. Sweet.